topic is central nervous system. Okay, yeah. Human neural system is two types, which is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. We are going to discuss about central nervous system today. Yeah, central nervous system H, yeah, central nervous system is two types, that is brain and spinal cord, brain and spinal cord. So today we are going to discuss about brain in the central nervous system. So brain, what is brain? Brain is the most important organ for any species. Okay, it can be analyzed, it can be give intellectuality, it can give emotion. Okay, brain can control any systems also. Digestive system it can control, respiration system it can control, circulatory system, reproductive system, muscular system, any physiological condition of species, any control of species can control under the brain. Okay, that is why brain is most important organ. In any other species, like human brain is more complex, that can analyze the complexity of any issues to give the simplification, to give the solutions. That is why human is very intellectual species than others, because of brain, the complexity of brain. Okay. So we are going to discuss today topic is about brain. Okay. Brain is the central information processing of our body. Brain is the central part which is give the process into our body, act as and command and control the system our body. Okay, command and control system of our body. Okay, it can control voluntary movements. Brain can control voluntary movements. Mean if we want to go run, okay, brain give the signal into the skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is the voluntary muscle into our wish. Whenever we want the action, the function is going to take place through the voluntary muscles, skeletal muscles. Okay, comes under control our brain directly. Okay, brain can control voluntary muscles directly. Okay, yes, and it can be balance the body. It can balance the body and functioning of vital involuntary organs also. Brain can activate the function on involuntary organs also. Mean if, yeah, it can act on voluntary muscles, and involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscle examples are skeletal muscle. The example is skeletal muscle. Involuntary muscles, the examples are, there are systems like heart, lungs, intestine, heart, lungs, intestine, these are the smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. They are the involuntary muscles. So guys, any signals, this is heart, any signals come from brain. If the heartbeat is increased, there is a brain can control, they can give the chemicals, that is sympathetic nervous system, system act on this involuntary muscles of the heart. They can control the heart beat. Okay, voluntary like sympathetic nervous system, they can control the heartbeat, okay, which is comes under autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system is involuntary muscles, autonomous nervous system, autonomous nervous system, and this is voluntary muscle system is somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system, autonomous nervous system, that is they can control voluntary and involuntary organs like lungs, heart and kidneys are the involuntary muscles. They can made with involuntary muscles. Brain can control, brain can regulate their functions. Okay? Voluntary muscles, there is a skeletal muscle, brain can control directly. Okay? Yes. Yeah, thermoregulation. Brain can involve in the thermoregulation. Thermoregulation means our body optimum temperature is 37 degrees centigrade. Our body optimum temperature is 37 degrees centigrade. This is the tropical country. The room temperature of tropical country is 27 degrees. 27 degrees centigrade in the tropical country. This is India tropical country, which is the temperature of optimum room temperature is 27 degrees. Our body is 37 degrees. They can regulate the temperature according to our body system irrespective of surrounds. This is the tropical country, average room temperature 27 degrees. If you go temperate region or any subtropical region or any other like polar region, okay, there is a temperature is different in surrounds, mean environment is different there. There is a minus temperature is also there in the polar region. If we go polar region, there is a minus temperature. Even though our body regulate the optimum 37 degrees centigrade, if we move that area also, our body remain the temperature is constant. That is why brain is the most important organ. It can be thermoregulate, it can be control the organs like involuntary muscles, it can be control the skeletal muscle, that is voluntary muscles, and hunger, yeah, any hunger, it can be described what happened in the body. Okay? The circadian rhythms, guys, this is the most important. Brain can involve in the circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythms mean there are such a 24 hours our body balance. 24 hour our body balance is depend on surrounds. Mean if any dark zone, if after 10 o'clock we are going after 10 p.m. we are trying to sleep instantly, like we are feeling to sleep during the night time, and daytime we don't sleep like that, we don't feel as sleepy. This is what circadian rhythm, that balancing of 24 hours time, okay, the daytime and the night time, okay, the movement of our body systems towards the daytime and night time. This is what the circadian rhythms, the hormone balance. Okay, yes, it activates several endocrine glands to release such a hormones, that is like testosterone, like this. There are all comes under our hypothalamus. That is what the part of brain. It can be control the reproductive system and it can be control the release of hormones. Okay, yes, human behavior like different kind of aggressive nature or coolness, everything is comes under brain itself. Brain can control it. It is also the site of processing the vision. Yeah, vision is the sense. Okay, vision is the sense which is controlled under our brain. Brain can give the visionary senses, and auditory, hearing senses are there. There are sensory neurons. There are sensory neurons which are connected to the brain and the organ. Okay, the speech speech also brain, the memory also brain, intelligence also brain. Okay, this is all emotions and thoughts, everything is comes under brain. That is why the brain can control, the supreme organ of the body is brain. Okay, yeah, don't confuse guys, brain itself can control everything. Okay, yes, yeah, next slide. Okay, yeah, human brain. Okay, if come to the brain, okay, such a organ which is well protected with whom? Skull. Skull is the skeletal system, which is protected by, brain is protected by skull. Okay, that skeletal skull name is cranium. Okay, the skeletal skull is the skeletal, which is the name is cranium, which is they can protect the brain. Okay, inside the skull, the brain covered by a cranial meninges. Inside the cranium there are layers guys, meninges, they can protect the brain inside the skull. Skull is the bony structure which is cranium. Under cranium there is a layers, 3 types of layers, that can be layers also, they can protect brain. Okay, that is consisting of outer layer called durameter. This is the first layer. Okay, yes, and middle thin layer is called arachnoid meter. Okay, called arachnoid and inner layer. Okay, this is second layer, arachnoid. Okay, yes, and with the brain tissue, this is inner layer we can call pia meter. These are the 3 layers, they can protect the brain. Okay, first instantly there is a bony structure which is skull, we can call it as cranium, that can be protect initially outer space of the brain. Okay, inside the skull there are 3 layers, they can cover the brain, which is protect. First is, that is like cranial meninges, we can call cranial meninges, the layers names we can call meninges. First one is durameter. Inside the durameter there is second layer which is called arachnoid meter, and inside the arachnoid meter there is a third layer is pia meter. Pia meter is directly connected to the brain tissue. Okay, these 3 layers and cranium, they can protect the brain. Okay, they can ask you any form the order of the layers. Okay, outermost layer is the durameter, middle layer is arachnoid meter, and inner layer is pia meter. Okay, these 3 layers protect the brain. The order of the inside, they can ask you in the inside order and outside order. Okay, any form they can question give you. Okay, yeah, brain can divide into 3 brains guys. That is, first one is forebrain, middle brain is middle brain, and hand brain is the third brain. Brain is 3 parts, we will discuss about it guys. Okay, guys, meninges are the brain layers of the brain, 3 layers. Okay, these are the 3 layers. This is skin, outer skin, skull, which is hard in nature, cranium, this is hard in nature, very hard, protect the brain. And next, the outermost layer is the durameter. Guys, just think this green color is durameter, outermost layer. Okay, this is the hard layer. Okay, durameter is outermost layer, hard in nature, and the middle layer, this is green blue color, is arachnoid layer, arachnoid meter. Okay, arachnoid is the middle layer, and this is the inner layer, this dark wala inner layer, which is has certain fluid, is pia meter. Inner layer is the pia meter, inner layer. Pia meter, which is they can connect into the brain tissue, connected to the brain tissue. Okay, this is the layers of the brain, guys. This is, they can ask you any orders of the layers. Okay, don't confuse, you can go to find the order. Okay, yeah, next slide. Okay, what are the brains, types of brains? Okay, we did complete, guys, brain layers, okay. Next, brain. Okay, brain has 3 types. First one is forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Okay, forebrain has again 2 types, cerebrum and diencephalon. Cerebrum and diencephalon. And hindbrain also 2 types, pons and medulla. Diencephalon again 2 types, Three types: pineal gland, we can call epithalamus, thalamus, hypothalamus. Guys, this is about brain, the parts of the brain. Okay, brain has certain three parts, which is forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Okay, if come to the forebrain, there is a cerebrum, there are cerebral like lobes are there. Okay, yeah, cerebrum and diencephalon is the forebrain. Midbrain, there are no parts segregated in the midbrain. And hindbrain has two parts, that is pons and medulla. Diencephalon, which has three parts, that is pineal gland, we can call it as epithalamus and thalamus and hypothalamus. Okay, we are going to discuss each and every part. Okay, we will start here from hindbrain, which is connected as a brain stem. Okay, which is, we can call, this is the hindbrain, is brain stem, which is connected to the spinal cord. Okay, yes. Guys, look into this. This is the brain, forebrain. This is the forebrain. This is the forebrain. All over, this is the forebrain. 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 This is the midbrain. Okay. This is the midbrain. This is the hindbrain, guys. Hindbrain. Okay, yeah. What is this midbrain, hindbrain? What is brain stem? Okay, we are going to discuss about it. Brain stem. Guys, just look into here. This is brain stem. Brain stem as hindbrain and midbrain, guys. This is hindbrain. I am going to give you clear structure here. Guys, look into this. This is hand brain. This is hand brain. Hand brain. In the hand brain, there are two parts. This is medulla. This is medulla. This is pons. Medulla and pons, two parts are there in the hand brain. Okay? Midbrain. Next, midbrain. Okay. This is midbrain. 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 Okay. Midbrain, hindbrain together we can call brain stem. Brain stem. Brain stem. Okay. I will give this side. Okay. Yes. Medulla, pons and midbrain. Midbrain and medulla, pons we can call, this is brain stem. These three we can call brain stem. This is previous year question. This is previous year question, guys. What are the parts in the brain stem? Okay, midbrain and hindbrain we can call. This is medulla and pons. Medulla and pons is the hindbrain. Okay, hindbrain. This is the midbrain. Together we can call brain stem. Okay, this is, guys, this is cerebellum. In the cerebellum, there are two lobes. Cerebellum. Cerebellum. Okay? Yeah. Guys, just look into this. This is the cerebellum and this is the brain. There is a fluid is there in the brain. Entire brain, there is a fluid we can call cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, cerebrospinal fluid. Guys, this is the duct which is it can carry the fluid. This is the duct like structure. It can carry the fluid, guys. It can give the fluid into the brain cells, fluid into the middle brain. Up to the, this is the hand brain, this is the fluid. The fluid is enter into the this is cerebellum. This is, we can call the ventricle, like heart ventricles. Here also ventricles, they contain a fluid. Okay, this is the fourth ventricle. Okay, fourth ventricle as such a fluid. Okay, we can call cerebrospinal fluid. That is enter from the like hindbrain to this is cerebellum. Okay, this is fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle. fourth ventricle. This is the fluid we can call cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. There is a tube which is enter into the middle brain, we can call cerebroaqueduct, which is enter into the middle brain, the fluid which is enter into the middle brain as a duct, we can call cerebroaqueduct. Where it is located? They might question cerebroaqueduct, where it is located in the middle brain. Middle brain, there is a cerebroaqueduct that can the fluid content tube. Okay. This is about middle brain and hind brain. Hind brain has two parts. This is pons, yellow color pon. This is white wala is medulla. Okay. This is midbrain and hind brain together we can call brain stem. Brain has such a fluid which is cerebrospinal fluid located in the hind brain, and there is a midbrain. Midbrain there is a fluid, the duct we can call cerebroaqueduct. Okay? Yeah, this is about midbrain and hindbrain, the structure of midbrain and hindbrain. So, guys, after that there is another ventricle is there above the midbrain. Above the midbrain there is another ventricle. Another ventricle like this in the midbrain. Above the midbrain there is another ventricle. This is third ventricle, guys. Third ventricle. Third ventricle. Third ventricle in the forebrain, guys. This is the third ventricle above the middle brain, that is forebrain. Okay? This is the third ventricle has such a parts. Here two parts are there inside, and this is the halfway of the lobe of the brain, inside part and outside part. Okay? This is we can call thalamus, and there is another part behind the third ventricle, we can call here a part like this part, we can call pineal gland, okay. The niche part, down part, this is one part is there which is two lobes part, we can call hypothalamus. Okay? Hypothalamus. This is the third ventricle. Above the midbrain, there is a third ventricle which has three parts: pineal gland, thalamus and hypothalamus. Pineal gland nothing but epithalamus. Epithalamus, thalamus, hypothalamus. Three parts are diencephalon. Diencephalon is what? I am going to write here. diencephalon, diencephalon has 3 parts: pineal gland, there is another name of pineal gland is epithalamus, thalamus, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. This is part of forebrain. This is part of forebrain. This is the third ventricle. Okay. Next, above the third ventricle, there is a fourth ventricle. There is a fourth ventricle like this, and first ventricle and second ventricle. This is first ventricle and second ventricle is there. 2 ventricles are there in the 2 hemispheres. Like there are brain, like cerebrum parts are 2 hemispheres, guys. This is the brain cerebrum parts. Okay, 2 hemisphere parts, they connected with corpus callosum. 2 hemisphere parts of the brain. Okay, 2 hemisphere parts of the brain which is connected to the this first ventricle and second ventricle. First ventricle and second ventricle, guys, which is connected to the cerebrum. Cerebrum has 2 lobes. Okay, 2 lobes, that is this fluid, first ventricle and second ventricle, they can give the fluid into the this cerebrum. Okay, guys, just look into this. This is the forebrain. Forebrain has cerebrum and diencephalon. Diencephalon has its own third ventricle, which is behind the third ventricle. There is a pineal gland, epithalamus, and middle of the part there is a thalamus. Hypothalamus is the below part in the diencephalon, which is has third ventricle. After that, the below there is a midbrain. Midbrain has cerebral aqueduct. And next, hindbrain. Hindbrain has 2 parts, pons and medulla. Okay, pons and medulla has its fourth ventricle, which is connected to the cerebellum. Okay, this is all about the structure of the brain. This is the thalamus, is the relay center of the brain. Relay center of the brain, they can analyze the situations. Okay, they can give the like signal into the every neuron in the cerebrum. Okay, we will going to discuss the function of this brain, okay, in the next class. Okay, I hope, are you clear about this, guys? I hope, are you clear about this, guys? Yeah, I'm going to show you the slides. Okay, I'm going to show the slides. I hope this picture is clear for you. Okay, yes. Look into this. Look into this. This is the brain stem. Okay, cerebral aqueduct, where it is the second brain, which is midbrain. Okay. Yes, this is the forebrain, thalamus, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, there is a pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamus, okay, in the forebrain. This is all over about brain. Cerebral hemispheres are there, which is connected to the axon, bundle of axon, the part which is we can call corpus callosum. Okay, they can connected to cerebral hemipods. Okay, cerebral hemispheres. Okay, yeah, midbrain, hindbrain, and finally spinal cord. Okay. We are going to discuss forebrain tomorrow, the functions of the forebrain and hindbrain and midbrain. Okay. All our functions we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.